Last time they were around, him and Chrisean, Chrisean was pregnant, yet the air was thick with smoke and bottles clinking, a scene that raised eyebrows then and now. But hold on tight, because what comes next isn't just ordinary gossip. This is more than a petty feud or internet drama. It's a digital quake shaking every feed, every comment thread, and every group chat across the nation. Tonight, media insider Jackson Lee dropped a bombshell revelation, one he insists uncovers a hidden medical emergency tied to rising star Crystal Rio's infant son, Junior. And let me tell you, this isn't some quiet whisper or gentle hint. What Jackson revealed landed like a hammer blow, loud, jarring, and impossible to ignore. Screenshots, late-night voice notes, and a raw midnight confession have sent the internet into chaos, leaving fans shocked and critics sharpening their words. Yet somehow, it feels like the most fitting reflection of who Crystal really is: unfiltered, unpredictable, and unwilling to live in silence. She has always carried her life like a stage play, with every win, every breakdown, and every feud performed under the brightest lights. But this time, the performance is gone. This moment is stripped down, personal, and impossibly intimate. If Jackson Lee's revelations contain even a fraction of truth, then the narrative surrounding Crystal, her role as a mother, the loyalty of her inner circle, the story her audience thought they knew, is about to come undone in public in real time. And here is the wildest twist. Jackson claims he did not chase the story. He insists the truth came hunting for him. It started with a stranger's DM, a grainy snapshot, and a voicemail so jarring Jackson Lee had to replay it, whispering under his breath, "No way." From there, the pieces fell fast. Anonymous accounts vanishing, frantic voice notes, deleted posts, each clue hinting at a secret Crystal may have fought desperately to bury. The whispers all pointed to one chilling possibility. Little Junior could be battling a condition far more serious than anyone on the outside imagined. But here lies the question. Was Jackson uncovering the truth, or was he staging the perfect performance at the perfect time? Was this exposure meant as a warning, or was it crafted as a weapon? The timing feels razor-sharp, almost too convenient. Crystal is on the brink of her biggest project yet, her rivals circling close, and suddenly this storm erupts. The internet, hungry for blood, can smell vulnerability, and it is not backing down. Now fandoms are ripping themselves apart. One camp insists, protect that family. The other demands, we deserve the truth. And just when tensions reached their peak, Jackson unleashed 3 words that detonated across every platform. "I have receipts." That line alone has left everyone questioning. Do we believe him? Do we trust her? Or are we all being swept into a narrative so carefully engineered, so emotionally manipulative, that even the skeptics cannot look away? The deeper questions still linger. Who dropped the first message in Jackson's inbox? What was hidden inside the files he swore he never wanted to see? And why does one timestamp, 2:47 a.m., keep surfacing in places it has no reason to appear? This is not idle gossip. This feels like a countdown. A storm years in the making is now crashing down in real time. To fully grasp this moment, we have to rewind to when Crystal Rios was not yet the chaotic lightning rod dominating headlines, but a fearless newcomer fighting tooth and nail in an industry that chews people up and spits them out. Back then, she had an unlikely ally, Jackson Lee. Jackson was already infamous, a sharp-tongued media insider who built his brand on pulling skeletons out of closets. Some branded him messy, others dangerous, but nobody could deny his reach. And when Crystal burst onto the scene, it was Jackson who amplified her voice, gave her the mic, and defended her when critics dismissed her as too volatile to last. Together, the Queen of Chaos and the King of Receipts became headline fixtures. Yet cracks appeared early. On the surface, their bond looked like mutual benefit. He thrived on her unpredictability. She thrived on his coverage. But their instincts clashed. Jackson plotted like a chess master. Crystal lit sparks like firecrackers. When Crystal revealed her pregnancy, the internet froze. Fans debated whether she was ready. Jackson publicly congratulated her, But insiders swear he muttered to his team, "This changes everything. Watch her closely. This won't end the way people think." That chilling line was the first hint that Jackson did not just see her as a star, he saw her as a ticking clock. As months went by, the partnership soured. Crystal accused Jackson of exploiting her name. Jackson dropped cryptic tweets, teasing that he knew truths fans had not yet seen. Comment sections turned into war zones. Supporters said, "He built her up, now he's tearing her down." Others snapped, "She owes him nothing. He's just a snake who feeds off her chaos." Meanwhile, quiet whispers began leaking from behind Crystal's polished posts. Stories of late-night meltdowns, scrapped studio sessions, slammed doors, and whispered worries that motherhood was taking a heavier toll than she let on. Jackson, ever the strategist, seemed to know far more than he was letting slip. Jackson began with breadcrumbs, cryptic remarks, vague warnings, never naming Crystal outright but circling the same ominous message: not every fairy tale ends with happily ever after. Fans devoured the mystery, speculating with every post. Then came the boiling point, a red carpet afterparty, music pounding, cameras everywhere. Witnesses say Crystal cornered him, eyes blazing, and hissed through clenched teeth, "Keep my family's name out of your mouth." Jackson, cool as ever, leaned in with a smirk and delivered the line that would cut their bond for good. "Then guard your secrets tighter, because whispers travel." From that night forward, they were no longer allies. They were rivals. But behind the glitter and flashing lights, a darker network began to hum. Shadowy DMs, faceless accounts, pixelated screenshots, claims of things seen, things heard, fragments too scattered to prove, but heavy enough for Jackson to string together. Insiders say he wavered at first, reluctant to strike. That hesitation died the moment Crystal mocked him on a live stream, dismissing him as irrelevant. It was the push he needed. The fuse was lit. From then on, Jackson was not waiting for information. He was chasing it. He dug into deleted posts, dissected timestamps, slipped into private group chats, and spoke with anyone claiming to be close to Crystal. Then came the night that changed everything. At exactly 2:47 a.m., his phone buzzed. A message from an anonymous sender. "Check this." Attached was a file. Jackson has since described it as the first domino, the spark that ignited the chain reaction leading to today's firestorm. He never revealed what was in that file immediately, but whatever it showed convinced him that Crystal's glossy narrative was a mask, hiding something far more devastating than her fans ever guessed, and something her enemies were eager to use. So he started plotting, teasing, building tension, until the night he finally struck. Jackson uploaded a blurry screenshot, names blurred, but the style, slang, and emojis all screamed Crystal to those who follow her closely. The messages hinted at hospital visits, frantic calls in the middle of the night, and an undercurrent of fear hidden beneath Instagram perfect smiles. One line glared like a red siren. "He can't know yet. If people find out, everything changes." Jackson's caption beneath it was short but brutal. "Secrets don't stay buried. Not forever." The internet erupted. "She's been hiding this," some cried. Others snapped, "Jackson is lying. This is fake." And in between, voices questioned why Crystal would bury something so serious. Social media was already on fire when Crystal logged in herself. 2 hours later, she went live. No glam, no filters, just her shaking phone, her voice raw with anger and heartbreak. "You think you know my life?" she spat, eyes red and wet. "You think some washed-up blogger can tell my story? You don't know me. You don't know what my son has been through. And if you think I'm going to let you exploit him," her voice cracked, silence holding the feed for a few heavy seconds before she whispered, "God help you." Fans flooded the chat in chaos, some begging her to tell the full truth, others demanding proof Jackson was lying. And just as the comments hit their peak, Crystal cut the stream, leaving everyone with nothing but questions and the echo of her trembling words. The moment the scandal exploded, social media fractured into chaos. Twitter turned into an all-caps war, with one side defending Crystal as a mother protecting her child while the other swore Jackson's receipts exposed her lies. TikTok overflowed with split-screen breakdowns comparing her posts to alleged leaks, and YouTube creators dropped hour-long exposés with titles like "Crystal's Biggest Secret," exposed by Jackson Lee. But then came the twist nobody expected. Jackson leaned into his camera and whispered, "This isn't about a baby. It's about power and money, and someone Crystal trusted has been selling her out from the inside," before releasing what he claimed was an email from her manager making deals behind her back, turning her struggles into paychecks. Suddenly, fans who had attacked Crystal began questioning whether she was a manipulator or a victim of betrayal, while she vanished from the spotlight, her silence only fueling speculation. Jackson doubled down with cryptic tweets like, "When loyalty dies, everything burns," while celebrities and influencers piled on, some sympathetic, others mocking, leaving Crystal's fan base bitterly divided. Yet one eerie detail haunted every leak and screenshot: the timestamp 2:47 a.m., a clue that no one could explain but everyone obsessed over. Finally, after 5 days of non-stop suspense, Jackson went live again, promising the ultimate proof, smirking into the camera before declaring, "You've seen the texts, the emails, the lies, but not the video. The one that ends her career." Hours later, he dropped a shaky, grainy clip with crystal-clear audio capturing Crystal's trembling voice whispering, "If people find out, if they ever see the reports, everything I built is over. My baby won't survive the pressure. They'll tear me apart." And in that instant, the internet froze, realizing the war between Jackson Lee and Crystal Rios had only just begun. Questions erupted instantly. Was the clip authentic, or was it manufactured to destroy her? Did it truly capture Crystal confessing she had hidden Junior's condition from the world? Within minutes, the footage spread like wildfire across every corner of the internet. YouTube mirrors multiplied, TikTok edits dramatized it into cinematic reels, and Instagram was flooded with reposts carrying captions like "Protect Junior at all costs" and "She fooled everyone." Yet the detail that unsettled viewers most was not her trembling voice, but the glowing timestamp stamped in the corner. 2:47 a.m., the same hour tied to every eerie leak before it. In less than 10 minutes, #CrystalVideoLeak dominated global trends as fans split into two camps, those calling it proof she had lied for months, and others insisting her secrecy was not deceit but survival. Meanwhile, TikTok sleuths dissected the clip frame by frame, slowing the audio, zooming in on blurred shadows, and matching the wallpaper to one Crystal had casually shared in a past Instagram post. Theories spun out of control. Was this a hidden recording by someone inside her circle? Was Jackson the mastermind? Or was the betrayal born from someone even closer than she dared imagine? The sense of treachery deepened as the scandal bled into Hollywood. A Grammy-winning artist weighed in with a blunt tweet, "I don't care what anyone says," and suddenly, the story was no longer confined to fan debates. It had become a cultural earthquake. No mother should ever be dragged through this. To exploit someone's private pain is vile, one celebrity tweeted in defense of Crystal. But not everyone shared that sympathy. A notorious reality TV villain went live with the opposite take. "If you don't want your secrets spilled, don't lie to your fans." Period. The conversation shifted again when rappers jumped into the frenzy, posting cryptic bars like 2:47 a.m. Everybody got skeletons in the closet. What had started as a fan-fueled uproar was now mainstream entertainment, with the whole industry circling the story. Behind the curtain, the financial damage hit hard. Sources claimed 2 major sponsors dropped Crystal's tour, and a lucrative brand deal worth millions was suddenly paused. One leaked email, allegedly from a sponsor, read coldly, "We cannot align with Ms. Rios until this matter is resolved. The reputational risk is too high." Jackson wasted no time capitalizing, smirking on live stream as he sipped champagne and read the email aloud to tens of thousands. This is what happens when you build a brand on lies. Just when it seemed things could not unravel further, betrayal struck from inside her camp. An anonymous Twitter account released voice notes allegedly from Crystal's own team. In one, a voice believed to be her assistant admitted, "We told her this would come out. She only cared about protecting her image, not Junior." Fans were stunned. Not only was Crystal under siege from Jackson, but her own people were cutting her down. The shock turned to heartbreak. Her own team is selling her out. No wonder she's collapsing. Who does she have left to trust? After days of suffocating silence, Crystal finally reappeared. There was no glam, no staging, just a dim room, swollen eyes, and a trembling voice. She whispered, "I never wanted this. I never wanted my baby's pain turned into a circus. I stayed quiet because I thought silence would protect him. But now I see silence is destroying me." She did not confirm the video, nor deny it. Instead, she stared into the camera and delivered one haunting line that flipped the entire narrative. "If you want the truth, you should start asking who is recording me." At exactly 2:47 a.m., the screen faded to black and chaos erupted. Her final words ignited a wildfire online. Who had been recording her? And why always at that cursed hour? Theories multiplied instantly. Some fans pointed fingers at her manager, others at a bitter ex, while the boldest conspiracies claimed Jackson himself had hacked her home cameras. Reddit lit up with detectives dissecting every frame, while Discord servers sprouted overnight, entirely devoted to solving the 247 mystery. What began as a story about Junior had now transformed into something darker: surveillance, betrayal, and someone close enough to Crystal to capture her most vulnerable moments. The scandal peaked when Jackson went live one final time. He stared coldly into the lens, his voice steady and unnerving. "You've seen the texts. You've seen the emails. You've seen the video. But let me make something clear. The real monster isn't Crystal.
And it isn't me.
It's the one who sold her out." He paused, smirked, and added in a whisper, "When their name drops, the world burns." Then the stream ended. The internet imploded. What followed was more than a meltdown, it was division on a global scale. Millions of Crystal's once loyal supporters turned on each other, some calling her a mother fighting to protect her child in a ruthless industry, others branding her a manipulator who had finally been exposed. Twitter timelines became digital war zones, caps-locked tweets screaming, "Crystal deserves respect. No mother should be judged like this," were met with furious replies. Respect? She lied to millions. That's fraud. The arguments stacked by the hundreds, brimming with anger, tears, and disbelief. TikTok took it even further, looping her leaked footage with ominous music, her trembling whispers replayed endlessly, etched into collective memory like a haunting curse. Some content creators rushed to defend Crystal with emotional rants about the crushing weight of motherhood, while others mocked her mercilessly, plastering clown emojis on her face and dubbing her the liar of 2:47 a.m. One TikTok edit alone pulled in over 20 million views overnight, stamped with the chilling caption, "Trust no one, not even your idol." Soon after, the YouTube commentators arrived, the self-crowned drama royalty of the internet, rolling out breakdowns longer than feature films. Thumbnails blared in red fonts. Crystal exposed. Jackson was right. The dark truth behind Baby Junior. Millions clicked, fueling the inferno of speculation. But the chaos didn't stop at fan spaces. Mainstream media smelled blood. Major outlets splashed her face across headlines, some sympathetic, others brutal. Crystal Rios betrays fans, read one. Leaked Baby Junior video sparks outrage, declared another. Morning shows played the footage on loop, experts debating whether she was a manipulator or simply a woman broken under pressure. Even celebrities jumped into the storm. A pop icon condemned the leaks, tweeting, "This isn't drama, this is cruelty. Profiting off a mother's pain is vile." In contrast, a mocked her on Instagram Live, snickering, "Honey, if you didn't want secrets out, maybe don't whisper them at 2:47 a.m. The division spread like wildfire, seeping into Hollywood's inner circles. Industry whispers claimed chaos was unfolding behind closed doors. Sponsorships weren't just on pause, they were being severed entirely. A leaked corporate memo spelled it out bluntly. Effective immediately, all campaigns with Ms. Rios are terminated. Risk outweighs value. The news sent shockwaves across the business world. Her tour hung by a thread, with rumors swirling that venues were quietly reconsidering contracts. Meanwhile, Jackson sat back, smirking, tossing cryptic lines onto Twitter like gasoline on fire. Silence speaks louder than lies. 2:47 a.m. isn't random. It's calculated. Every word he posted became a trending hashtag. Every smirk turned into a meme. Every pause was dissected like prophecy. The fandom grew more divided than ever. Discord channels transformed into digital battlefields. Reddit threads stretched into the thousands. Some branded Jackson a predator exploiting Crystal's pain. Others painted him as a whistleblower exposing the truth. One viral post summed it all up with chilling precision. This isn't just about Crystal. This is about trust. If she lied, what does that mean for every celebrity, every influencer, every idol we put our faith in? And just like that, the scandal had outgrown one woman, one child, one betrayal. It had become a referendum on fame itself. What began as a scandal was now a mirror, forcing millions to confront unsettling questions about fame, loyalty, and truth itself. And then, in the middle of the chaos, Crystal broke her silence once more, but not with a live rant or a fiery tweet. Instead, it was a chilling Instagram story. A plain black screen with 7 stark words in white text. The enemy was always inside my house. The internet detonated. Was she accusing her manager? Her assistant? Someone even closer? Was this her confirmation that the betrayal wasn't random at all, but carefully orchestrated from within her own circle? Speculation twisted darker by the minute. Fans began asking whether her inner circle had been spying on her for months, recording her private moments and selling her pain as currency. And once again, the cursed timestamp, 2:47 a.m., was at the center of every theory. Who was behind this?
And why?
Just when the world thought the storm had peaked, it cracked wide open to reveal something even darker. Crystal's cryptic line wasn't simply dramatic, it was a warning. Within hours, anonymous accounts began dropping files that flipped the entire scandal upside down. The first leak was an audio recording. A muffled voice, someone unmistakably close to Crystal, was heard laughing coldly. She thinks I'm protecting her. She doesn't realize I'm the one feeding everything to Jackson. The internet erupted in hysteria. Fans slowed it down, analyzed the tone, enhanced the audio, desperate to match the voice to a name. Some insisted it was her manager. Others were certain it was her assistant. And then came the whispers of the unthinkable, that it could even be family. More leaks followed, grainy photos of late-night meetings, screenshots of text chains hinting at shady negotiations, and emails that appeared to show cash being exchanged in return for exclusive details about her private life. The narrative shifted yet again. Crystal wasn't careless or deceitful. She was trapped in a den of wolves. And the most devastating truth was that the wolves were the very people she trusted most. Her silence became unbearable. Each passing hour without a word sent theories spiraling further. Was she frozen in fear, strategizing her revenge, or quietly collecting her own arsenal of proof to burn the betrayer in the court of public opinion? And just when it seemed like she might retreat forever, Crystal reemerged, not with a post, not with a story, but with a video message that promised to turn the firestorm into an inferno. There was no music, no filters, no polished setup, just Crystal, pale and drained, her voice cracking with rage as she stared into the camera. I know who betrayed me. I know who pressed record. And when I say their name, you'll finally see this was never about me. It was about power, about destruction, and it came from the last person you'd ever suspect. And just video cut off. No names, no proof, only that bone-chilling vow, and the internet spun into chaos. Within minutes, hashtags exploded across every platform. Hashtag who is the traitor, hashtag inside enemy, hashtag name drop 225. Fans pleaded for answers, desperate for her to reveal the identity. Haters mocked her for playing games. And while the world screamed for clarity, Jackson sat back and poured gasoline on the fire with a single cryptic tweet. Told you it was bigger than you think. And then, silence. The leaks stopped. The live streams ended. No files, no screenshots, no whispers. Just a global audience left trembling in suspense, waiting for the final blow. Because at this point, the scandal was no longer about Junior's health, or Crystal clashing with Jackson, or even betrayal within her circle. It had transformed into something far bigger. The hunt for the ultimate truth, the reveal that could shatter everything.